Hi everybody, and welcome to Movie Recaps with Brit. Today, we will be taking a look at a movie titled Handsome Suit. Without further ado, let's get started. The film starts with an interesting advertisement discussing men's looks. The speaker mentions that some men possess attractive eyes, well-shaped jaws, and a slender physique, but they will not be our current focus for the time being. Instead, we turn our attention to men who possess contrasting characteristics. These are the individuals who require assistance. At this point, we are introduced to a new invention known as the handsome suit. It is a specialized bodysuit designed specifically for overweight and unattractive men, instantly transforming their appearance. Although it does not bring about permanent changes, the handsome suit offers unattractive men the opportunity to experience what it feels like to be attractive. Takuro, a 33-year-old individual, falls victim to his appearance. Despite being an excellent cook and owning a restaurant, as well as possessing a wonderful personality, Takuro faces challenges when attempting to pursue romantic relationships. His weight, broad nose, and lack of a defined jawline serve as constant reminders. Over the years, he has experienced rejection from a total of 101 women, with 52 of them leaving in tears and 25 reporting him to the authorities. Consequently, Takuro's love life has become a source of mockery, greatly impacting his self-confidence. The underlying cause of all his troubles is his unattractiveness. This makes him an ideal candidate to become the representative for the handsome suit. One ordinary afternoon while working at his restaurant, Takuro encounters Hiroko, a beautiful young woman who expresses interest in joining as a waitress. Without reviewing her resume, Takuro hires Hiroko and is thrilled to have such a beautiful person joining him at work. Over time, Takuro develops stronger feelings for Hiroko. Whenever their eyes meet and she doesn't shy away, he interprets it as a sign of her affection. In Takuro's absence, an older colleague asks Hiroko why she chose to work at the restaurant when there are better opportunities available in the city. Hiroko discloses that a few months ago, she visited the restaurant with her father, and they encountered a customer who couldn't pay for his meal. Instead of becoming angry, Takuro compassionately listened to the man's reasons and allowed him to pay later. This act of kindness touched Hiroko deeply, motivating her to work at the restaurant. Upon hearing this story, the elderly man believes that Takuro finally has a chance with a woman. Elsewhere, Takuro seeks the opinion of his friends Heizi and Todo, asking them whether he is unattractive. Without hesitation, they affirm that he is one of the least attractive men they know. However, they advise him not to let his unattractiveness hinder him and encourage him to confess his feelings if he has any for someone. Still unsure, Takuro visits a children's park and spends a significant amount of time there. Eventually, a salesman of the handsome suit approaches him. The salesman suggests that Takuro become the product's spokesperson, but Takuro declines, unwilling to showcase his unattractiveness. The following day, during lunch, Takuro prepares his favorite dish for Hiroko. She is amazed by the taste and expresses her love for it. Naively, Takuro believes that she is confessing her love for him. In response, he confesses his love for her as well. Instead of running away in tears as he expected, Hiroko surprises him by asking what it is that he loves about her. Caught off guard, Takuro stumbles and manages to mention that she is flawless in every aspect: her eyes, earlobes, hair, and even her paws. Hiroko's perception of Takuro's response leads her to believe that he only loves her based on her appearance, which is not the kind of love she desires from a man. With 102 rejections weighing heavily on him, Takuro has lost all hope. The very next day, he visits the handsome suit store and encounters the manager. Initially skeptical due to the suits resembling penguins, Takuro considers leaving. However, the manager and owner persistently assure him that this experience will transform his life. Eventually, Takuro ceases his arguments and agrees to try out the suits. That's when the extraordinary takes place. Takuro emerges as a handsome young man, with well-defined muscles and a sculpted face. He observes a visible jawline for the first time and is left astonished. Excited by the transformation, he proceeds to try on various other suits, morphing into numerous different attractive individuals. After careful consideration, Takuro selects his favorite suit and makes the purchase. The manager informs him about a unique sound button located on his throat that can alter his voice. Takuro explores the available options and chooses the deepest and most alluring voice. Finally, he decides to go by the name Hikariyama, as it sounds more attractive than his real name. Before departing, he receives a warning to avoid hot water while wearing the suit and to keep its existence a secret. In the very first hour of his newfound attractiveness, Takuro experiences the benefits of being conventionally attractive. A woman who used to give him disapproving glances on the bus now smiles at him. Teenage girls admire him, a waitress serves him unlimited refills, and women on the streets generally treat him with greater kindness. Takuro even encounters a modeling manager who expresses interest in hiring him as a model for their company. The following day, Teruko appears in his usual unattractive state when Moto, a woman, enters the restaurant to inquire about the vacant waitress position after Hiroko's departure. Despite customers expressing their preference for someone as beautiful as Hiroko, Takuro opposes their opinion and hires Moto, emphasizing that appearance doesn't matter when it comes to serving. Moto is pleasantly surprised by Takuro's kindness, as she has never experienced such treatment before. In the succeeding days, Moto wins everyone's affection through her diligent efforts. However, both Takuro and Moto are perceived as amiable but not physically appealing. Whenever they are together, Moto playfully flirts with Takuro, which he interprets as a joke. Gradually, Takuro develops feelings for Moto but considers them purely platonic. After a week passes, Takuro visits a modeling agency and meets the manager. Despite being inexperienced and struggling with posing, he receives praise from everyone. Regardless of his lack of skill, his facial appearance sets him apart as a superior model compared to others. After the photo session, he encounters Raika, a supermodel. She deems him too foolish for the industry and dismisses him on the initial day. However, Takuro succeeds in winning her over due to his character. This marks the first time in Raika's life that she feels drawn to someone. She even extends an invitation for him to join her and her friends for dinner at her residence. Later that evening, he arrives at her place and realizes that her friends are none other than his closest companions, Hisao and Todo. He composes himself and impresses them with his culinary abilities. Now that he is attractive, his talents receive greater admiration than before. Throughout the night, Takuro unintentionally reveals glimpses of his true self, initially when his voice changes and later when Todo makes a comparison to his previous heavier appearance. Nonetheless, he manages to safeguard his secret and returns home. Exhausted from assuming a false identity, he longs to cook as he normally would. Moto is also present at the restaurant to assist him in preparing for the next day. She has crafted a wrist warmer that plays his favorite song, which, despite being whimsical, Takuro appreciates for its considerate gesture. Engaged in conversation about various topics, their hands accidentally touch, eliciting a peculiar sensation within both of them. Uncertain about its meaning, they opt to disregard it instead. In the subsequent series of events, we witness Takuro participating in numerous modeling assignments. He appears in advertisements and billboards, living his dream. Wherever he goes, clusters of women trail behind him, granting him the opportunity to select a partner at last. Over time, Raika gradually falls in love with him due to his personality, yet Takuro's attraction remains solely towards Hiroko. Certain of his attainment of a commendable level of success, he finally seeks out Hiroko in his handsome appearance. Employing romantic expressions akin to those in movies, he conveys his feelings to her. However, Hiroko perceives him as an unfamiliar individual attempting to flirt with her. She politely excuses herself and departs, yet Takuro remains deluded, believing her reaction stems from shyness. Later that day, Moto accompanies Takuro to purchase groceries. On their way home, Moto discerns Takuro's melancholic state. In an effort to uplift his spirits, she suggests they engage in a game that entails capturing photographs of contented individuals at the market. Initially dismissing the idea as foolish, Takuro realizes through the game that happiness stems from life's small joys. Moto even captures snapshots of him relishing an ice cream to showcase his joyous countenance. Unbeknownst to Takuro, he has gradually developed feelings for Moto. During the night, he finds it difficult to get her off his mind and falls asleep while gazing at the pictures they took at the market. The day after the photo session, Takuro finds himself alone with Raika, who leans in for a kiss. Although he lacks attraction towards her, he seizes the opportunity to experience his first kiss with a girl. They engage in a passionate kiss, yet Takuro envisions himself kissing Moto instead. As things intensify, he becomes uncomfortable and pauses, needing a moment to catch his breath. He expresses a desire to shower before engaging in lovemaking and heads to the bathroom. However, Takuro forgets that he shouldn't expose the suit to hot water. Due to this simple oversight, the suit peels off his body, and he panics as he tries to find a way to get out of the house. Swiftly, he sneaks out of the bathroom and flees before she catches sight of him. The following morning, they cross paths again at the studio, and Raika is infuriated. Never having been rejected by a man before, her desire for Takuro intensifies. In an attempt to navigate the situation, Takuro claims that he wishes to take their relationship slowly. Later, the manager discloses that Takuro has received an invitation to participate in the annual fashion show arranged by a renowned brand. This show presents numerous opportunities for him, emphasizing the importance of performing well. Subsequently, Takuro is informed that he must take a warm shower for the day's photo shoot. He declines, fabricating an excuse. His explanation is accepted by everyone except a former model who harbors jealousy towards Takuro's success, suspecting something amiss. During the evening, a birthday celebration is held in his honor. Takuro secures a deal worth $5 million with the modeling company. Just as he reaches a pinnacle of happiness, the envious model spills hot coffee on him. Fortunately, the lights suddenly go out, allowing Takuro to escape unnoticed. On his way back, the suit comes off and sustains significant damage. He heads straight to the showroom and requests a new suit from the salesman. Subsequently, he is introduced to the permanent handsome suit, which will entirely transform him into an attractive model. However, acquiring the suit comes at a cost. He must forsake his former identity entirely. After careful consideration, he decides to purchase the suit. On his way home, he accidentally collides with a woman and is accused of groping her. Merely based on his appearance, people assume he is a pervert. He is even taken to the police station and must be bailed out by his colleagues. Upon returning home, Moto expresses her belief that he must have been unjustly accused, as she knows he isn't someone who would make a woman feel uncomfortable. Takuro is finally prepared to disclose the entire truth to her, but she dismisses him. After a while, Hiroko returns to the restaurant and requests a conversation with him. They head to a park, where she discloses her initial elation upon learning of his love for her. Takuro assumes she is mocking him and urges her to leave. Her reappearance renders all his efforts to transform himself futile. Consumed by anger, he dons the permanent suit and resolves to abandon his previous life entirely. The following day marks the fashion show, a significant opportunity for Takuro, yet his thoughts are consumed by Moto. Meanwhile, Moto encounters an accident when a motorbike collides with her on the road. Upon receiving this news, Takuro is left in shock. Before he can react, he is pushed onto the stage, but he refuses to walk. He has finally come to the realization that he doesn't desire this life. He experienced the utmost happiness when he was with Moto at the market. He abandons the show and rushes to the backroom, yet he overlooks the fact that the suit he wears is permanent. In a final attempt to revert to his former heavier self, he cuts his skin. Luckily, the plan succeeds, and the manager witnesses his true appearance. In the subsequent scene, Takuro reaches the hospital and discovers that the injured individual is the motorcyclist, not Moto. He experiences relief upon seeing her unharmed. They find a private space to converse, where Takuro encounters the greatest surprise of his life. Moto unveils herself by removing her fat suit, revealing that she is actually Hiroko. Tired of being admired solely for her looks, she wanted to test Takuro. She apologizes for deceiving him, and finally, the two of them unite. Thank you for watching our movie recap. While it may seem simple, it actually took a lot of hard work and dedication to produce. If you enjoyed the video, we kindly ask you to show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. By doing so, you'll stay updated on our latest content and help us continue creating more in-depth analyses and critiques of the movies you love. Thank you again for your support.